Hello, angels. Welcome to my channel. I'm just pouring myself some water. I have a message for y'all. Today is a new moon. I'm not sure what sign it is, but I've been trying to deliver this message for a long time. And it's actually a free gift, which was supposed to be a part of my book, but my book is out now at ConsciousMagick.com. And it's called the Vibrational Alignment Course, which is running at about $1,000, and I'm having a scholarship right now, $1,000 scholarship. The program originally was $8,000, then I put it down to $4,000. Then I had to make it accessible for a lot of you guys because I really want to change the world, and I really wanted to make it affordable for you to change your life. So today I'm here to talk about energy and the conscious truth about what has been going on and who we are as people and how we can change and what is the truth and what magic really is. And I actually put this all together to be a part of my book, but I'm giving this out for free in this video on this new moon because I'm feeling very generous, although my soul was suffering trying to fucking record this video for y'all. I've been trying for the past 4 hours, and I'm just like, you know what, I had enough. But after a change of outfit and a fresh face of makeup and some water, I'm just like let me just start. So I didn't have the time to make a proper video. Like, I wanted to like record my voice and do like a movie, like a scene where you see all the, you know, the things that I'm talking about and just capture the moments. But you know what, I'm just gonna get right to it because I don't have enough time to explain why I failed people. I didn't listen to God, bro, and that's all it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my story. I remember a lot of it. If I forget, I have my story here. And it was the part 1 of Magic of the Brain, which, like I said, is in the Vibrational Alignment course. So you can go to ConsciousMagick.com right now and purchase that course. You get $1,000 off, and you hear it from me right here and now that I use the same tools, the same methods to change my life, to manifest peace and happiness in my life, because everything happens from within. And I'm going to share bits and parts of my story and my journey to let y'all know how that worked out for me, what I did, what I conquered, what I came through, how God played a role in my life, how the devil was trying to stop me. So we're going to get right into it. I got some pyrite here for protection, you know, and I got some black tourmaline and some selenite to keep me, you know, grounded and protected and shielded with white light. I'm inside a circle. I got my angels. I don't know if y'all seen it flying. So those who are conscious believers, y'all believe in me. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for supporting me. And I'm gonna get right into it. And then here goes nothing. Maybe I should put up my hair a little bit. I look crazy. Do you think I look crazy? I don't like it. I washed my hair today and I just left it like that. This is my natural hair. And I cut it, and yeah. Anyways, so the part about that where God changed my life is, y'all can see the angels are swaying me side to side, never back and forth, because that's demonic or evil. So you sway side to side. I gotta get my car up. I need my license. I'm gonna start by telling my story. So my name is NM. They call me Love NM, and NM is my initial, my first and last name. And I used to be possessed. Possessed means there was a spirit inside of me. I'm getting nervous, bitch. Yo. I'm getting... Can I just read? Yo. Okay. So so I was manifesting as someone else. Like, I literally had a spirit inside of my body, and I was manifesting as someone else. And now that I know that energy creates our reality, I was literally living as 2 different spirits, like my own spirit and then the spirit that had possessed me when I was a baby. So this is how it happened. Like, I remember growing up, I always had like spiritual experiences of like negativity and like harm and evil always like coming across. Like I had like psychic visions, I had like dreams that used to come true. I had like higher powers who would save me after every accident. I had many like traumatic, traumatic experiences where I had to search for the light, and I never really found it the way that I wanted it. Funny how I just touched the cross. I never really found it the way that I wanted it until I was shown the truth about what magic really is, about what energy is, and that magic is actually another term for energy. So the difference between Magic and Magick is one is an illusion and the other one is real, given the power to bend reality. Magick, magic. So we have the power to bend our reality, and that's what my whole channel is about. That's what my whole business is about. The reason I started this consciousmagic.com, and the reason I teach what I teach is because it helped me save my life and helped me save my soul. So I'm just gonna get right into my story, and I'm gonna read a little bit. I hope nobody gets offended or say it's unprofessional, because it's really a lot, and I've dealt with a lot. And when it comes to spirit possession, you lose a lot of your memories because a lot of the things are not you. So I had to deal with like a possessing spirit in my body for a long time, for almost 30 years, and I'm 31 years old in this life, and I had to heal myself for 8 years. And really come to the conclusion that this is who I am and this is who I want to be, because I started my spiritual journey in 2014, and I had no idea that there was a spirit inside of my body, and it's been there since I was a baby. And I had that memory come to life when I was like in a relationship, but I'm not gonna talk about that made my heart hurt, bitch. Oh, sorry guys, like, don't curse so much. I won't. So I'm gonna read a little bit about my background and how I grew into this work. Okay. God is like, don't read for failure, but do read if you want to fail. So I grew up in a Muslim family, and I was born in Bangladesh. I was raised in New York, but when I was in Bangladesh, I grew up in a Muslim family. I am the prime minister's granddaughter. So my grandfather is the ex-prime minister. He's the 6th ex-prime minister of Bangladesh, and he used to bring the priest over. So it was like every Friday, like, how in Christianity, like, it's every Sunday, like, y'all go to church. And so every Friday, my grandfather and my dad and like my uncles and stuff, they always used to like have the children. So there was 4 of us. It was me, my brother, and my 2 cousins. They were brothers and sisters. So all 4 of us, we used to sit with the priest, with the imam there, and he used to come and teach us Arabic. So even though he taught us how to read it and write it, he didn't really explain to us, because he didn't make us understand what the fuck we were reading. Like, we didn't know what we were reading. We just knew how to read it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't understand what it meant or anything like that. We were taught that Allah is a God and that's our God, and we were taught to like fear him, right? So for like almost like 29 years, that was my God, and that's what shaped my reality until I chose a different God. And a lot of people might say, oh, she chose a Christian God. It's not that. There's only one creator, and that's my story. Like, I had to deal with this evil entity that I called my God, and that not really shaped my life's experiences, that it created a lot of my life's experiences. It did shape my life's experiences because I kept on praying to it. I kept on seeking to it. I loved it, thinking that it was the one God that I've been looking for. Although I already knew who God was, because every time I had a traumatic experience, there was the light. But then all these things would happen, and I would pray to who they call Allah, who is just a religious servitor. And a servitor is a spirit that you create out of your mind. So every religion has a servitor. For example, like Islam has Allah, Christianity has Jesus. These are all servitors. Buddhism is Buddha. In Hinduism, like, there's so many spirits that they worship. I don't know too much about that, but I'm gonna stick to the first 3, because there are Hindu gods and goddesses that are of real. Some of them are avatars that were created, but I'm not gonna get too into that because I never really dived deep into that religion. But this is my story. So I grew up as a Muslim, and I was a Muslim for about 28 years, give or take, and I'm 31 years old now. A lot of people may judge me by my tattoos, but this is what explains how I went from being a Muslim to a Christian to being spiritual. So the imam used to come over when I was little and I was in Bangladesh. Like I said, my grandfather is the ex-prime minister of Bangladesh. Rest in peace to my grandfather and my father. I know they're watching me create this video. They're like, I'm so proud of you. But they're my spirit guides, and they're here, cuddling with me, and I feel like crying, but I gotta deliver this message. So I learned Arabic, and I praised this God. He's not even a God. The nigga's a servitor, okay? And I don't give a fuck who's watching this video. If you're Muslim, just stick to your story and don't try to change my story, because you cannot tell me the path that I walked on, okay? I know what I saw and I know what I've been through, and I'm not, God is like, don't get angry too late, so I'm laughing. I know what I've been through, so I'm not gonna sit here and create a fake scenario like, oh, Allah is my God. He's not. Fuck that nigga, bro. I said that, and I was a Muslim for 28 years, and I'm 31 years old right now in this vessel, like my soul is mad old, like really, really old. But anyway, we're not gonna get to that. But anyway, I had to grow out of these religious beliefs. So growing up, I had a lot of spiritual experiences with spirits where I didn't even know what to explain. I just knew that every time something attacked me, something saved me. And whatever attacked me was in black, and whatever saved me was in white, and that's the difference between Allah and God. Because when I seen that nigga, and mind you, I seen that nigga not too recently, it was like about a year ago. Nah, not even a year ago. I think it was like a few months ago. And the only reason he tried to come for me, it was not a vision. I don't think it was a vision. No, it wasn't a vision. I seen that nigga. Oh, I remember. I seen that nigga walking up my driveway, okay? So the nigga was walking up my driveway, and he was this black spirit, and he had like red eyes, and he looked like, he was big and like, and like kind of hefty looking, kind of looked like one of my ex-boyfriends, but he's really evil. But he died. R.I.P. to that nigga. He died this year. I don't want to mention him. Ugh, another evil nigga. But that's what I'm saying. Like these spirits who show up in black, are evil. They're very, very dark. They're very, very cold, especially if it's a creation of your mind. So God, when I saw God, I actually saw God when I started my spiritual journey, and that was like in 2014, 2015. And even then, I was calling him the A word, I was calling him Allah, and he allowed it, because we have to go through this journey and uncover the deeper parts of our truth. And the truth is, there's only one God, there's only one creator. And I know my God is not black in color with red eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen demons before. I seen vampires before. I seen like imps before. I seen all types of jinns before. And I had all these experiences with all these spirits to know the difference between their energies. Because the vibe is real. I don't know if y'all saw that. That was an angel. But because the vibe is real, you can feel it. Like, if you feel like something is there to harm you in any way, shape, or form, it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember many times where I had experiences with spirits, and I would pray, and either I would wake up or I would go to sleep, and I would pray to Allah, but the situation wouldn't get better, And then I discovered throughout my spiritual journey, as I started, moving on to Christianity, because I felt restricted in that religion. So what happened was, a few years ago, when I started choosing the light, it was literally out of like trouble. Like, I was so troubled. I used to be a big party, a party goer. I was a big drinker. I was an alcoholic from all the traumatic experiences that I went through. And most of it was because of spirits. Like, I remember being, pushed into a knife. I remember somebody pushing, a black shadow pushing my cousin, and I cracked my skull open, and I had a near death experience, where I actually saw the light, and that was my discovery of heaven. I think I shared it in a scripture. It was like, I came out of a black door. So that day, I actually died. So I died many times in this life because of spirits. And a lot of times where I thought that Allah was saving me, He really wasn't saving me. He was trying to kill me even more, but we're not gonna talk about that. But the bad spirits were always attacking me, and every time something happened to me, I remember seeing this white light on my right side, and he would always be like, everything is gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, like, you're gonna be healed, you're gonna be fine. And I would just smile, and I was just a little girl. Like, I remember these things would happen to me since before I was like 4 or 5 years old. I remember these things like they were yesterday, and there was a time that I died, but I was living in Bangladesh at the time, and I had to go to my dad. Like, so I didn't, it was just something in my heart, is like, or go to your dad. I think it's something in my mind, like, I don't know, I think something was trying to fuck with me, to hurt me. I'm not really sure what made me do that, but I know it was like, you need to go to your dad. So I was like, okay, I want to go to my papa. So I went to my bua. Bua means nanny in Bengali, or Bangla, and that's the language we speak in Bangladesh. And it was kind of weird that night. It was a very dark night. It was like kind of foggy, and then the nanny told me that how he's playing badminton with my uncle them in the backyard. So my backyard, because I lived in a mansion, back home, like my grandfather was the ex-prime minister, so we had like this huge house. So from the mansion to the backyard, it was like this long pathway of just like gravel and rocks. It was kind of like a forest, just going through trees and shit like that. So my cousin, who was like a little bit older than me, I think she was like, I don't know, like 10 years old at the time, close to her teenage years. I think she was like 9 or 10 years old at the time, but she was much older than me. She was like at least like 5 or 6 years older than me, and she's like, I'll take you, and she told me to sit on her shoulder, right? So I didn't want to, something just like, like, I didn't feel right, so I didn't feel right. And it was like, she's like, oh, sit on my shoulder, I'm gonna take you to your dad. And I'm just like, I don't want to do it, but I did anyway because I wanted to go to my dad. And I truly feel like something wanted to attack my dad, but it attacked me instead because I wanted to go save him. And it's not the first time. Like, it's not the first time. Like, I saved my dad so many times. My dad is laughing. He's here. He's like, don't talk about me. He's like, don't talk about you too much. Talk about yourself. So he's a spirit. We're all spirits. I work with the dead a lot. My back hurt. I'm VVS is on my neck piece. Sorry, don't own the copyrights to that song. So what happened was, she's like, oh yeah, sit on my shoulder. So I'm just telling you like my experiences with spirit so that you understand where I'm coming from and what is the point of this. Yo, I could talk so much. Demario Jenkins, also known as Houdini the rapper, who is my friend who died this May, I think it was. It was like May or June, like a little bit after my birthday, or right before my birthday. He's here and he's laughing. He's like, my nigga, you need to talk about yourself and you don't need to talk about me. Did I just throw up the blood sign? Leaving the past behind. Don't slap yourself. Alright. Yeah, so yeah. Timeline. Oh yes. So my cousin was like, yeah, just sit on my shoulder. And I didn't feel right, but I wanted to go to my dad, So my papa, he doesn't like to be called dad. He's like, don't call me dad, don't call me papa. I was like, okay. So I went to go to my papa. So my cousin put me on her shoulder, and she's like, okay, let's go, I'm gonna take you to the backyard, because they were playing badminton. So my papa and my uncle, they were all playing badminton. It's a sport. I don't know if y'all know, but it's a sport. So we had this big backyard with like it was like a tennis court or whatever you want to call it, but it was like a big ass court. So coming from the mansion to the court, it was like this long like gravel road, almost like a forest. It's just like trees, and it was a long fucking walk. So we forgot to turn the lights on. There's supposed to be like lights or some type of lights. I'm not really sure. I can't really remember that part. I don't know, but I know the lights were off. So my cousin was walking, so I'm like kind of scared because I'm literally like this on her shoulder, like I'm sitting on her fucking shoulder. It's not like she's putting me here, not like like I was here, my legs here, my pom pom on the back of her, on the back of her neck, you know. So now I'm there, and something just didn't feel right. Next thing you know, she tripped, bro. She tripped. So my shit is like, this is how I started like believing in the spirits too, because like I remember these things from my childhood experiences. I can't call myself crazy. Like, how the fuck am I gonna call myself crazy? I've been seeing this shit since I was little, you know. And now that I'm even more spiritual and I see the good spirits, and I'm like, I'm not crazy. All this shit has been preparing me for what I'm about to do right now. Deliver the message. But yeah, so she tripped forward, and then I looked this way. So this was like her left. So I'm looking at her shoulder, bruh. There's something black just pushed her like this, and I fell. Like, I'm like, how the fuck did she, like, I couldn't remember that part until I had to relive that memory. Like, I was like trying to think. I'm like, how the fuck she tripped forward but me fall back. I'm like, hold on. So yeah, I fell back. I fell and I cracked my head on a rock, and I cracked my skull open. So that day was my discovery of heaven. So I remember being in the hospital and I was zoning out. I remember my mom and my dad, their face was like this, and this was in Bangladesh and back home, and their face was like this, and I remember just zoning out. And when I zoned out, it was like I left my physical body, because I remember being in that hospital bed. I was like, yo, like not even 4 or 5 years old. I remember being in that hospital bed, and I left my body, and I came out of this black door. And that's what happens when you die, you know. Death had came for me at the time, and then I'm not recreating no event. Like, don't recreate it, because death is gonna come for you right now. Yo, fuck that, man. Where is Santa Muerte? So yeah, so once I came out of the door after I died, that day after I cracked my skull open, when my cousin was carrying me to my dad, when I wanted to go to the badminton court, because I wanted to go to my dad, I came out of this doorway, and it was like a black door. It was just nothing but darkness inside of me. I remember being this little girl, and I'm like, where am I? So it looked like a room like this, and the first thing I saw was a black door, and then I looked to my right. So like the black door was on my left, and then I looked to my right, and there was a white door. So obviously, like, I'm smart. I'm like, bitch, I'm not walking to the dark. I'm not walking to the dark. I started walking to the light. I'm like, no. I'm walking to the light, and I knew, like, it was heaven. Like, I knew it would lead me to where I would feel good. I'm like, I'm not walking to the left one. Like, there's no fucking way I'm going in there. But I was walking to the light. And then I heard a voice, this masculine voice coming from above me, like near my right ear, say, stop. So I stopped. And mind you, I was just a little girl. Like, I was like, I don't even know how old. Like, I think I was like less than 4 years old. I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I heard this voice say, stop. So I stopped. And I know it was God. Like, now I know it was God, because God told me so. And he's laughing right now. He's like, I'm in the background, just chilling on me, make your video. He's like, those who are workers of God, they'll believe you. Don't worry about the evil people, because they're the workers of iniquity. If they don't believe you, then it is what it is. Fuck them. I just remembered something. I remembered a song. I ain't gonna say it. Like, fuck them, even if they celibate. Anyways, I'm gonna have to edit that. But yeah. So I remember this voice, masculine voice, so the voice of God saying, stop. So I stopped. It's like, turn around. So I turned around. It's like, walk. Like, literally just like that. Like, very strict, very forward, but very, like, loving and gentle, because he cared about me. Like, I know he cared about me. He didn't want to hurt me in any way. He's just trying to guide me. He's like, I'm always going to guide you, fam. Well, nigga Houdini's like, I'm always going to guide you, fam. And God is laughing. Like, don't get us mixed up and stop talking about us. Can y'all just chill out, bruh? It's my thoughts. Why am I thinking while I'm talking? Fix. We're releasing a lot of energy. So, yeah. So, he's like, I turned around, and then he's like, walk. I didn't fucking walk, me, because what I saw was that same door that I came out from when I died. When I cracked my skull open, I came out of this black door. So, when I had turned back around, obviously, that there was a black door behind me. And he's like, walk. And I'm like, he only told me to walk one time though. He said, walk. After he said turn around, he's like, walk. And I'm like, but it's dark over there, you know? And I feel like it was like a telepathic communication. Like my physical lips didn't move because I was in spirit. It was my spirit. Like I remember seeing my spirit, you know, my little girl, this little white spirit. I was, you know, because my soul is all white. Like my spirit is white because I'm a good spirit. God created me with love and light. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but it's dark over there. And then he's like, do you want to see your mom and your dad again? You know, your papa and, you know, I think he said mom and dad or papa, but he's like, do you want to see your family again? And yes or no. And I had this vision of my mom and my dad like looking worried, and they were over my body, like my physical body. And I was like, you know, a little girl, so you know how toddlers are. So I was like a little toddler, and they're just like watching me like this, like, you know, with worried look, because I know I died. And even to this day, they didn't tell me that story. Like they never told me that I died. Like they never really talked about my traumatic experiences and the shit that happened to me because of spirits, because I know they didn't want me to be scared. But I'm not scared, you know. Like I conquered so much evil in my life, I'm just like, bitch, whatever. But so when he asked me, he's like, do you want to see your mommy and dad again? I was like, yes. And then that same masculine voice, which I know now is God, you know, coming from above me from my right side, is like, so walk. So I started walking through the same black door that I came out from. It was boom, I was back, like I was in my body again. I remember being in the hospital and I woke up. You know, I woke up in my body. Yo, my mom and my dad's face was like, I'm like, my nigga. And I think it was the same day or the very next day after my surgery, because like I had like staples in my back of my head. I can still feel it. I just touched it. And I was, you know, I was let to go home. I went home to the mansion I was living in, and I was laying on my pillow, and my same cousin that had dropped me, or the spirit pushed her, but either way, like, bitch, why would you put me up here? Oof. Purniapo, if you watching, my cousin, I'm like, yo, bitch, if you watching me, I love you, but you got me fucked up. You should listen to me and not put me on the shoulders, but then I would have never discovered heaven, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm thankful for the experience. So thank you to my cousin for making me crack my skull open, because shit, I heard God. I seen the light on that side and the dark on that side. So the sinners go that way and the good people go that way. But I had a choice, you know, because I am pure. And that's what happened. God, when you're pure, God gives you a choice to do right or wrong. And it's like, I'm watching you, be. I mean, he gives sinners the same choice too, but I feel like sinners don't really have a choice than to just keep on sinning and sinning and sinning until God is like, sit your ass down, B. Fuck is you doing? He kind of did that to me, but we're not gonna get into that. I did turn into a sinner after, but we're gonna get into that later. So, what was I saying again? Yeah, so I returned to my body, and my mom and my dad was like, this, like, they were just shocked. And that was my discovery of heaven. And from that day, I knew that there was a God. Even though I kept on forgetting him in my mind, he was always there to like guide me and show me the truth. Gonna have some chocolate. I need some tea, bro. But yeah, so that was like one experience that I had about God. And then there are like many other experiences where I had to learn who my God is. And they're just like magical servitors. Like I was saying, they come through religion, mostly religion. Actually, all religion. Like it's literally all religion, because we're creating our own version of God through our head. Like, oh, Allah is here, and this is what it is, and this is who he is, and there's no face. You know, like Islam never mentions what Allah looks like, but I see what that nigga look like. That nigga's a black ass spirit, ugly as fuck, demonic with demonic red ass eyes, and I'm like, that's not my God, bro. So that's what kind of like started changing my reality. But I saw this like just last year or earlier this year. But I saw God like 4 or 5 years ago, the real God, the one true supreme creator who taught me love and light, who taught me how to change, because I was a very bad person because I was possessed. So going to my story, little going back in timeline. So I got possessed when I was a baby. So when I was a child, and I received this memory, when that was 2016. When I was a child, I had a memory in 2016, but when I was a child, there was a spirit that was put inside my body. But when I received the memory, I didn't really know that it was a spirit that was put inside my body. I just knew that somebody was fucking with my soul. You know what I'm saying? I just knew that they were messing with my body. So what I remember, like I saw myself as a baby. This was in 2016, so it was like epiphany, from the higher powers of God, where it's like, ding, like remember who you are, and this is what happened to you. And I still didn't believe, and I remember my ex, like I was living with my ex at the time, and he was calling me crazy because I had the memory and I started crying. He's like, you crazy and you believe in the devil. Mind you, at that time, I had my Quran right there, and I used to like worship Allah, bro. Like I was worshiping that nigga, and the Quran was like about this fat. This is not the Quran. That's the magic of the light be. That the Quran is fucking evil. Anyway, I don't go fuck what anybody have to say. I'm not going against the people I'm sharing my story. But yeah. So I remember this lady. I don't say no names. She was fucking with my soul, wrapped me in a red cloth and doing some shit. And I started crying because one of them, one of them it was two of them, and I remember, they were family members. I'm not, what, I'm just gonna leave that behind. But I remember I had this memory come in 2016, and they were fucking with me, and I was just a baby. Like I saw myself as a baby. But before I fast forward to that, moving on from that traumatic experience where I cracked my skull open, it was the next thing that was happening to me was the jinns. So the jinns started showing up. I remember I was at my late grandmother's house, which is my mother's mom, and she had a big house too. It wasn't as big as my grandfather's house, which is my dad's father, but my mom's house, and it was just her mom, her dad. My mom's dad had died when she was young, but I'm gonna hold on. I wrote this shit down. Gotta refresh my memory. Okay, so she had this house, and it had like a very like creepy feeling. Like it had a dark aura, in the night, and like this eerie feeling in the night, and like a dark aura in the daytime. So I remember one time my mom put me in the back room, and the back room of that house of my mom's house, everybody knew it for like spirit activities. Like people saw ghosts and jinns and all types of shit. So one time I was sleeping, and my mom actually, like, she put me to sleep, and I don't know why the fuck, out of all rooms, she put me in that room. Like, what's in that room, what was going on in the room. I didn't know at the time until I experienced this, what I'm about to tell you. But I was fucked up. So what happened was, she laid me down, and I remember I was sleeping, and something woke me up, and I believe it was Archangel Michael and Archangel Lucifer. They just tapped me. They're like, this is confirmation. They're like, yes, it was us. We woke you up when you were a baby. Now continue. So they woke me up, and I looked back. Like I was literally laying like this, and the door was behind me, and this was the bed, and I was laying like this. So like, I was sleeping like this, and they're like, don't react. What? Don't reenact it? Don't reenact it, too late. Oh. So I was sleeping, and I woke up, and then I look at the end of the bed, at the edge of the bed, there was this black cat, walking on the bed. And I'm like, I didn't think anything of it because I loved animals, and I was such an innocent soul. And I'm just like, I smiled, and I closed my eyes to sleep. And next thing you know, like I opened, I'm not going to recreate it. Next thing I know, it was like I felt something like this. Like, when your eyes are closed, but somebody put their hands in their face, it's there. My nigga, that's how spirit works. So just be careful. Not trying to scare y'all, just trying to encourage you all to believe the truth, okay? So, shit, I'm sweating. Well, my feet are sweating because energies are leaving, So, I remember just feeling this hand in my face, and I opened my eyes, and I think the cat was gone, so the cat turned into a spirit, and he had like a fucking like giant black furry hand, and he was coming like this to my face. I closed my eyes and I have no memory of that night. Like, I don't want to remember what the fuck happened to me after that. God is not going to make me remember. He just told me, he's like, I assure you, you will not remember that shit because I don't want you to know the truth. Alright, cool. But I know that the next day I had a fever, and I remember telling my mom, like, hey, this is what happened. Like, there was a cat. You know, there was a black cat, and I saw this black hand, but I had a fever. Like, it was like a high fever, and I was like really, really sick. So I had these experiences since I was a child, and it was many traumatic experiences that I faced with spirits all the time. But then there was always these good spirits who would come and, you know, protect me and save me from harm and evil, especially from death. So even though I was going through these little things, it was only to help me remember my true self, so that I can be here right now to share this story with y'all. So going forward into the timeline. So I remember these events like they were yesterday, and I want to share them with you because this is how I discovered, not even discovered, I learned the law of attraction is real. Like, it even proved to me that the law of attraction is real. So the more I remembered my childhood experiences and my experiences in adulthood with the spirits and God and who I thought was God, and like every bad thing that happened to me, it helped me remember myself. And when I learned the law of attraction and I learned the secret, which is what I teach in my book, so you can go to consciousmagic.com right now and read the first page where you'll know the secret. So if you want to know the secret, which about the law of attraction, that the law of attraction is real and how it works, you can read it for free at consciousmagic.com right now. I was gonna include it in my book, but I was like, nah, people need to know the truth, and people gotta wake up because I gotta save the world. So yeah, so what happened was, where did I leave off again? Anyways, fast forward to when I was like about 5 years old. I remember there was another time where a knife stopped at my leg. So I don't know if y'all can see my scar here, but like it literally went through, like there's a scar, there's a scar. Should I turn to the camera? Show them the scar. See? So that's the scar. So the knife, it was like a blade. So we call it in Bangladesh, we call it a boti. So we call it a boti. So we use it like you put your feet on it, you know, and you cut. And I fell on it. But let me tell you how I fell though. So I was playing, and my mom and my family, this might be a long story, y'all, but I have to make y'all believe. I have to make you believe in me and God and the spirits, bro, so you can protect yourself, alright? And use hoodoo to go away evil spell now. But read consciousmagic.com first, though. Happy new moon. I ain't going away. So, my mom, my dad, and my grandma, my grandfather, I think they all went to a wedding, and they left all the kids home. So all the kids was just 4 of us, the same 4 that we learned Arabic together. So me, my brother, and then my cousin and her brother. Yeah, my cousin and her brother. So it was 4 of us. And I remember the boys, my brother and my cousin, they were chasing us with a doll head, you know. So what they did, they broke the fucking head of the doll and they put it in a stick, and they were like chasing us. And we lived in a mansion, so the hallways were like fucking huge, you know. And I'm like running down the hallway. I knew that doll was possessed. There was something wrong with that doll. I never liked that doll, and there's a reason that I chose that doll, and my brother chose that doll, and they chose to like break that shit apart. But I know how spirits work. You could break a doll apart, but the energy will still be in that object. So spirits can actually possess objects, and I don't want y'all to get scared. I want you to pray if you're afraid, but I really want you to learn from me, okay? And learn from my experiences, that I tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and only the truth in God's name, and so it is. Amen, amen, whatever y'all want to say, but I say and so it is, because I don't want to get into the biblical scriptures, because I know how much they fabricated the truth to change our story. They used to call me Jesus, but anyway, that's another timeline. Holy shit. Yeah, so I remember the doll head. So my brother had broke my cousin's doll, the girl, so broke her doll and put it in a fucking stick, and he was like chasing me, and I was so fucking scared. I'm like running down the hallway. So I lived in a mansion, and I'm like running and running and running. I was scared, but I was laughing it all off because I'm like, it's just a fucking doll. Like, I didn't want to believe. Like, I know what I felt, but I didn't want to believe because my mind was being oblivious to the truth. And I was just a little girl. I was like 4 or 5 years old around the same time. Yeah. And next thing I know, I wanted to go and get a mango. So like I got hungry, so something which I know like God and the some of the spirits guided me, like, oh, go to your boo, I'll go to your nanny. So I went to my nanny, and I found her in like this dark room. Like, it was like a little kitchenette, not really a full kitchen, it was like a little kitchenette, and she was sitting there in the dark, and I told her that I want mango, and she looked like a black spirit, but she reminded me of my boa, my nanny. So I thought it was my nanny. I was just a little girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, I found out later that bitch was evil, but she wasn't my fucking nanny. But my nanny was somewhere else. Like, that shit was crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, jinns can, like, spirits can take form. Like, they can shapeshift into other people and make them look like you. I remember my dad saw me one time, and I'm like, Dad, what the fuck are you talking about? I was sleeping. He's like, nigga, I was offering you food, and you didn't even answer me. You're sitting on the computer just like you're on MySpace or whatever all night. And I'm like, I was sleeping. I had dance rehearsals and dance class. Like, that was like when I was in high school, you know. But anyways, I don't want to mix up the stories on the timeline, so we won't keep going. And I feel the pain going away. So yeah. So, you know, I told her to cut a mango for me. So I saw her gathering the stuff, and then she had the boti. And hold on, I can't remember. I wrote it down. So yeah, she even started to cut the mango. Like, I saw her trying to cut something, and I don't know if I saw the physical mango. I don't know if it was an illusion. No, it was a real mango, but it was an evil spirit. So there was something off about her, but I left her to it, and I went to go find the children, you know. And I ran down, I left her to it, and I ran down a long hallway, and I entered my cousin's room, the girl, and to look for her, and nobody was there, but the lights are on. So I ran up again to the small room, to the kitchenette, to find my boa, my nanny, and of course my mango. She wasn't there, my mango wasn't there, the lights were off. And I'm like, well, the lights were already off from before, so I wasn't really scared. I was just skeptical. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? Like, I literally just, it was like not even like 2 minutes. I literally just told her, like, cut my mango. So now I'm looking near the blade. So it's like a blade, like I showed y'all. It's like a booty. Like, you step on that shit and then, like, you cut like this, like, you know, back home. So the blade is like this, like, it's like a curved blade like this, and you cut like that, you know, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're Bengali or Indian, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you're Guyanese, you know, it kind of looks like a cutlass. But it's like on the floor, so you could step on it and you could cut shit. And they use it for like cooking purposes, you know, to cut vegetables and stuff back home. So I'm looking for my mango. I saw the blade. I can't find my mango. Looking for my bua. I can't find her either. And I turn around to leave the room. Something pushed me, bro. In that room, in that kitchenette, something pushed me. And I saw this black spirit. And it wasn't my bua, but it looked like a lady. It looked like a lady, but she was in black. Yo, I got goosebumps, fam. Oh, child. But she, you know, she had pushed me. I was like around 5 years old. This scar, that's how I got this scar. Don't move closer to the camera. But yeah, this is how I got the scar. So the blade went all the way through, and it stopped at my bone. So like, literally, like, my bone is here on this side, so it went all the way through. And I was like 4 or 5 years old, bro. I pulled my leg out of the blade. I walked out of the room. I was in little to no pain, and that's how much I believe in God, and I love you, God, and I trust you so much, because there was a lot of pain that I went through and that I didn't really feel. Like, I felt it going, but like after that, like, there was literally no pain. Like, kind of like my car accident, you know, like, I got these scars. Like, I don't remember the pain, and that's the grace of God, because he knows I am good. Thank you, God. So yeah, so all these things happened to me. I pulled out the knife. that night, and I ran out. I like was like trying to run out the room, and I ran into my boo. I literally like I bumped into her, and I just told her what happened. And like I told her, I was like, I told you to cut my mango, you weren't there, and then I fell on the knife. Like, and she looked confused. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, she didn't tell me that, but she looked at me. She's like, you know what? So I just told her to put a band-aid on it. Like, I was a thug. Like, I was a G. Like, I thugged that shit out. So she put a little band-aid on it. Mind you, I had a whole blade. It was just like about this fat go through my leg. Put a band-aid on it. Walked. And I walked away. I went to go play with the children and whatnot. Next thing you know, something terrible is about to happen. Something terrible was about to happen, and I felt it, but the spirits don't want me to talk about that. They want me to talk about my story, because there was another girl that got possessed that same night. That's making my heart hurt. Like, so I'm gonna skip to the timeline. I'm gonna skip the timeline a little bit. I'm gonna fast forward to when I was chilling. Yeah. So yeah, when I was chilling in New York. So it was 1999 when I moved to New York. So I moved to New York. Next thing you know, I went from living in a mansion to this is where the law of attraction comes into play. Like, all that shit happened, and then I had my car accident. I had the scar on my face. I think that was like 1996, and then 1999 I moved to New York City. I moved to the Bronx, and I went from living in a mansion to living in a 1-bedroom apartment with three more people. So it was me, my dad, and my mom and my brother. So it was like 7 or 8 of us in like 1-bedroom apartment in New York City, in the Bronx, in Parkchester, and next to the movie theater. I lived there, and for a while, and well, for like a year or 2 years, not for a while, but I lived in New York City for a while. I was in New York. I was raised in the Bronx, so that's where I get my attitude. Holla. But yo, so I didn't really have any experiences with spirits in right after I got there, but I remember the trauma. So because of the timeline that I lived for the 10-11 years, soon as I moved to New York, the next 9-10 years of my life were completely different. Like, my survivor programming changed. I got involved with like gangs and alcohol. I was associated with gangs. I was associated with people who were just bad for me, but they used to protect me. Like, that was the whole point of being in the gang. Like, we all just like had each other's backs and fucking shit up. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I had to be aware of my surroundings, and I was just being evil to myself, consciously manifesting through my not consciously manifesting through my mind because of my surroundings. So growing up in New York City, if you're from New York City, it can be rough, especially in 1999. From 1999 to 2009, I lived in New York, but even around that time, I was I was being messed up by the spirits. And it started again around the time when my father died. Well, no, it started when I was engaged. So I was engaged at 18 years old, but I don't want to talk about that nigga. He makes my heart hurt. Fuck that nigga. I was engaged at 18 years old, and he had some shit with him, and I used to see shit. Like, we told you don't talk about him. It's making you hurt. I know. Okay, but anyway, that was fuck that guy. But anyway, my dad died. So 2009, my dad died, and that was like that whole 10-year timeline. I have to skip it because it's very painful. Because I just want to talk about the spirits. I don't really want to talk about any gang violence or me like getting into fight or trouble like that, because that's not really important. That's not what we're here to talk about. So fast forward to 2009, my father got sick. I moved back in with my parents. I was living with my ex-fiance, and I almost got married to that nigga, but he was domestically abusive, which is why my heart's been hurting. I guess I gotta clear that energy. But I moved in with my parents, and shortly, like a month after my father passed away. So 2009 February, my father passed away, and I remember seeing his spirit like when he died. and I wasn't allowed to go outside. Where I was told not to go outside because in Islam they believe that when a person dies, because he died in our house, in our apartment in New York City in the Bronx. I forgot where the fuck we were living. It was in Castle Hill. It was on Castle Hill. Like, we were still on Castle Hill. Like, I lived on Castle Hill basically, like, the whole time. Like, I was raised on Castle Hill. Because I moved out from Parchester. Like, I only lived in Parchester for like a year or so since I moved there in 1999. Because eventually I wasn't living with my auntie. Me, my dad, my mom, and my brother, we moved to Castle Hill. Then, you know, we were evolving. We gotta fast forward and skip a little bit. The spirits are rushing me because this will be almost reaching an hour. So next thing you know, when my dad had died in 2009, I wasn't allowed to go outside. I was told not to go outside because in Islam they believed that if a spirit dies, because since my dad died inside the house, in the apartment that we were living in on Castle Hill, I believe it was Black Rock Avenue. Yeah, it was Black Rock because I lived on the blood block, and yeah, and there was like, yeah, I remember Black Rock and Chatterton was the Crip block, but we're not gonna talk about that. Bloods and Crips, not important. Even though I used to be with the Bloods, that's not important. I'm gonna edit the video because I don't edit the video, just talk. Okay, but anyways, I used to fuck with the Bloods or whatever, and next thing you know, it was just like this belief in Islam, and my aunties and everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't go outside. They was telling me and my brother. My brother would be outside more than me. Mind you, I was literally never allowed to go outside. Like, I had my first sleepover at 19 years old when my father passed away. That was in 2009. Everybody was like, whoa, like, what? You're finally outside? Like, I was living my best life. I had found myself a partner. We were dating, and we were happy. Like, he basically, like, took my pain away, you know? Like, my father died. His father had died too, but I don't want to talk about him. Not his father. I don't want to talk about my ex. But anyway, like, I was good, you know? I was living my best life. I was drinking, I was chilling, I was having fun and stuff like that until I moved to Canada. So another part of my timeline, I was actually forced to move to Canada in 2009, the same year that my dad died, because my mom couldn't make it on her own as a single mother. So we came here as refugees. Now I'm a permanent resident. You know, I'm gonna get my citizenship. My mom is already a citizen. You know, my brother, my whole family's, you know, they're all citizens except for me, because I'm taking my fucking time because I need to get my license, my driver's license again. I gotta start driving again. So it's just been a whole lot of like changes that I went through since I moved to Canada, and it was out of my will. And since when I moved to Canada, the spirits were fucking with me again, and I was seeing things at my auntie's house. Because when we moved here, I was living with my auntie in a townhouse, and there was like 8 or 10 of us. Like, she had like 3 kids, her and her husband, and it was me. My dad wasn't there, but it was me, my mother, my brother, one of my cousins came to Canada with us, and then her son. So there was like a whole bunch of us in like a 3 or 4 bedroom townhouse, plus basement, and we were all living in that house. And the spirits would started fucking with me again. They would fuck with me in my sleep. I was getting sick and all these shit. So next thing you know, I started experiencing these traumatic events where I was literally dying, and I didn't know why I was dying. Like, I knew kind of why. Like, I fell into depression because I had no friends. Like, I was 19 years old. I moved to a new country without my will. Nobody told me that I was going to be here. They tricked me telling me that I'm coming here on a vacation. Like, I fucking love Canada now. Like, shout out to Canada, shout out to Toronto. I love it. I've been here for 11 years. I don't think I'm ever going to live in New York City ever again, because the peace that I feel, just like, I don't know, it's just a different vibe. It's a different vibe. Canada is a different vibe than New York. I love New York. I love the Bronx, but I can't live there. Like, who I am now does not resonate with that vibration. So, but yeah, fast forward to me being attacked by evil spirits in Canada. So I started seeing shit again, seeing shit at my mom's house after I went to this lady. So when I had my spiritual awakening in 2014, so fast forward from 2009, I moved to Canada in 2009, and it was like 2014 I had my spiritual awakening. 2015 I went to see this lady who I was guided to, but I believe something bad guided me to it, even though God allowed it. But you know, she told me like, oh yeah, bad people are doing bad magic on you, and they're jealous of you, and they're this and they're that. And she asked me for some money. I didn't really believe her, although I knew in my heart, because I knew what the fuck I was going through. Like, I was being very, very evil to myself. My life was bad. No matter how much I tried to change my life, it was just like bad, tremendous bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. And I just didn't know what else to do. My back hurts, B. I can't believe I cut my hair. So yeah, so I was like having like tremendous amounts of bad luck to the point where I didn't want to live anymore. And this lady kept on telling me like, oh yeah, somebody's doing black magic on you, somebody's doing this, they don't want you to get married to your twin, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. And I didn't believe her, but I did believe a part of it, because I knew what I've been through for the past like 20 years. Like, since I was born, I've been seeing different shit, and even though it didn't make sense in my mind, I knew what I remembered, you know. So being here in Canada taught me a lot about you know, spirits, and how much knowledge I can spread about them, because it was literally like 10-year timelines, you know. Like, I was born in Bangladesh and I lived there until 1989 to 1999, and then 1999 to 2009 that was in New York, and then 2009 to like 2019 when I got my exorcism. You know, like that timeline. I was in Canada, and I'm still in Canada. So now we're in 2020. So I had to really learn my lessons from those experiences that I went through, and I had to like push forward and know that these spirits are real. And there were so many times where Allah was trying to kill me, because every time I would turn my mind to God, because I knew who my God is. So when after I had these experiences with these evil beings and these evil spirits who would try to attack me, and even when I was praying to Allah, He would never come. So 2014, when I received my spiritual awakening, I heard "Search the love of light." I still believe that Allah was my God, and I still believe that He is the light being that I've been looking for. He's that light, that voice that I've been seeing, that spirit that I've been seeing since I was a little girl. And I really wanted to believe that with my whole heart and truth, because I really loved Him, you know. And then I realized, I was like, that's not my God, because how can it be my God, but He looks black? He's black, He has dark red eyes, just like the evil spirits who used to torment me when I was little. I remember these dreams that I used to have where it didn't matter how much I would pray to Allah, He would never fucking come for me. And the only way He came for me is when He wanted to fucking kill me. But anyway, He wanted me to die, okay? And He wanted me to die because evil people were using Him against me. And obviously, like I said, these are servitors. Religion creates their own sets of spirits, their own sets of evil. And this is why I don't believe in religion, and I say fuck religion, and I don't really fuck with religion. Although the shit that I teach, hoodoo, does have a lot to do with the Bible, but it doesn't necessarily say call me this. Like, Christianity solely, that's why I wear the cross, because Christianity solely focuses on God as God. I know a lot of people believe that Jesus is God. That's not real. But if you believe that Jesus is real, then you're not truly into hoodoo. Because if you really do practice hoodoo, you shouldn't believe in Jesus. Like, there's no fucking way. Because hoodoo, you have to pray to God. There's only one God. There's only one supreme creator. Like the ancestors who were the first slaves, who taught me love and light, who taught me how to fight this battle. And God, the Most Highest, who's been with me since I was a little girl, always told me that. Sorry, I just saw something. Always, nigga. So God, the Most Highest, who told me like, hey, this is me, you know. And God came to me and God showed me Him, and I remember what God looks like, and I remember seeing God. It was like I think I got off timelines. But anyway, it was the most highest creator who taught me that evil spirits are real and showed me this thing. So I went through these timelines of darkness and evil and chaos and havoc in order to tell my truth, to share my story, and be like, hey, there is a God, but that's not a God, which is why I have what they call the Christian cross. But the cross has power because it is of the light. So that's what I'm here to teach you. I'm here to teach you the magic of the light, and the reason I had to share my story and tell y'all about all of these events is to make you literally believe, because I've been through so much shit. Even though I didn't know who I was praying to, I knew I was praying to, God. No, regardless of what the fuck I called him, I was praying to God. But I would say, oh, Allah Akbar and all this dumb shit. Even earlier, I had caught myself. My brain would be like, Subhanallah. I'm like, oh, cancel. Like, nah, bitch. That's not my programming. So, in order for me to save my soul, I literally had to change my programming. I had to change my beliefs and had to learn who God is. And that's literally the point of this video, to make you understand that there's a difference between good and evil. There's a difference between black and white. And the reason they call us black and white, because they want us to be in the void. Our souls. Oh dear God, fuck Jesus. I know. Um, but they call me Jesus. I got the God that I love, the God, the Creator, the one supreme being who taught me love and light, standing in front of my face right now. Like, you good? I'm good. He's like, you need to stop this video right now before you fail. I'm a fail. Well, in 2 minutes you may fail. Well, the God who taught me love and light taught me that I have to practice hoodoo, and that is the reason that I am here, sharing these stories about like evil spirits and beings, so that you guys can know and learn from my experiences, and go purchase the vibrational alignment program so that you can change it. Vibrational alignment course, my bad. I was gonna call it a program, but it's not a program. I'm gonna call it a program because that has a whole different vibration. But if you go on consciousmagic.com and purchase my vibrational alignment course, you will know how to save your soul. And the reason I don't believe in Allah is because he's an evil spirit. Like, I had a dream about this shit last night where evil people were like, oh, la, 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 and they're like picking on me, and because I kept on mentioning the A nigga. I call him the A nigga because I have no respect for him, because I know that he is not God. I know he's not a godly being. I know he's not the creator. I know he is not a creator. He's a servitor that we create. Like I said, the devil is a creation of our mind. You know what I'm saying? But I remember a lot of the experiences that I had, and the reason I know the difference, and I want to teach y'all the difference between black and white, is also because of my discovery of the underworld. And there's just like the same way that I discovered heaven, and I also discovered underworld, or what they call hell. And hell is not a real place. It's actually called the underworld, and it's very, very dark, and it's not cold. There's no pain, there's no suffering. And I know that because I've been there, because I died and I went there. And the only reason I went to the underworld, or what they call hell, was to be rejuvenated, because I had committed suicide. So I got, like, after I moved to Canada, like, I had fell into depression, and I didn't want to live. I picked a fight with my brother. I was like really, really drunk, and I had picked a fight with my brother, and I got really, really drunk, and I didn't want to be here, and I wanted to be with my dad. Sorry, gotta eat some chocolate. And my dad stopped me. He's like, love NM. Get it? Love NM. Okay, there we go. So, I wanted to be with my dad. I took like 50 painkillers, and I chugged it with a bottle of gin, and that was my discovery of the underworld, or what they call hell. So I remember like feeling fucking dizzy, like I knew I was gonna pass out. So I'm like struggling to walk up the stairs, and this was At the townhouse I lived in when I moved to Canada, like I said, it was like 8 or 10 of us. So I was living with my auntie because right after we got here, we didn't have a home right away. And I was living with, I was with my mom and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, it was sorry, you gotta block somebody out. But yeah, so I was like rushing to go upstairs because I knew I was gonna pass out. So I barely made it to my pillow. I was trying to reach my pillow, but I passed out in the middle of my bed. So I passed out in the middle of my bed, and next thing you know, I saw my spirit. Like, it was me. Not even I saw my spirit. Like it was like I was sitting in a dark field. Like, it was like all black. Okay, and that was the underworld, or what they call hell. So I'm sitting there, like, and my spirit was there. So my spirit was white, and then I saw the light illuminate over my spirit, and then I glided, like my spirit glided into to be one with my soul. So my soul was like black, and it was sitting in front of me, and it looked so fucking evil, and I saw it from the back. So my spirit was over there, and my soul was just like facing that way in a lotus position. If you don't know what a lotus position is, that's a lotus position. So my spirit was in a lotus, my soul was in a lotus position, and my spirit went to merge with my soul. And that's when I came into consciousness as to where I am. So now I'm just like looking around, and everything is pitch black. I saw nothing but darkness. Like, it was like literally pitch black, like black. Like, I don't know what black is. Like, it was like pitch black. And I'm looking around, and I'm like confused, like, where am I? Because the last thing I remembered was me collapsing in the middle of that bed after I took 50 painkillers and chugged it with a bottle of gin. And I'm like looking around, there's nothing in front of me. There was like darkness. There's just darkness. Like, I put my hand on the floor, I couldn't even see my hand. It was just darkness. And I went like this. I remember, like, I went like this. So I put my right hand on the floor, and I went to go get up, and I was in my body, and I was throwing up. Like, I'm puking, I'm throwing up and throwing up. So I regained consciousness. I don't even remember to this day how the fuck I came downstairs. I don't know. I know my spirit drove me down, or God drove me down, came downstairs. I'm just throwing up all the fucking painkillers that I took and the alcohol. And I remember somebody was holding my hair, and there were like people laughing at me because I was throwing up, because we had it was like a party. So it was a party, and I got fucked up, and I was going through some fucked up shit, like a traumatic experience, you know what I'm saying? So sense. So next thing you know, when I was like throwing up and all that shit, I didn't really, believe in God. Like, after that experience, after my suicidal attempt, my life went even haywire. Like, I had like fake ass friends. I started like manifesting more evil. I had like this rude personality, where it was like money, power, greed, hunger type of mentality, and I was living like that. And I thought I was going to live like that for the rest of my life, until it was 2014, until I hit my spiritual awakening, because I had lost everything. Like, I went through that journey, and I had lost everything, friends, family included, and nobody was there to take care of me. So I was sitting there with my laptop open, and next thing, and I was just thinking, I'm like, should I look for a job? Like, I lost my job, I lost my friends, I think my mom wasn't talking to me. Like, I was living with my mother, nobody was really talking to me, and I lost everything. So I sat there with my laptop. So I had sat there with my laptop, and I'm thinking, like, what should I do? Like, should I look for a job? Should I look for a job? Should I go to school, and that's when I heard the search of love, like search the love of light, and that should change my whole life. That's the reason I'm wearing white right now, and I'm gonna go put the incense in the incense holder. Hold on one second. God is laughing so hard. He's like, don't finish your story today, although we gotta go downstairs and play some pool. I'm just kidding. So, where was I? Yeah. Oh, I love the incense. Against the circle of white light. So they made me, the spirits made me light some smoke because the energies in here were getting very, very heavy. Because the past was coming up, and to create evil, and I just couldn't let it manifest. So next thing you know, the fuck? Where did I leave off? Shit, fam. But anyways, I just couldn't be evil anymore. I just knew that something was guiding me to change, and it was in my heart. And I'm just like, yo, like, I've been drinking and doing a lot of bad shit since I moved to Canada, and I'm not this person. Like, I remember even when I was in the Bronx, I wasn't as bad as I was when I moved to Canada, and it was because I was completely surrounded by evil people. Like, not that I wasn't surrounded by bad people, like, they weren't that bad. Like, yeah, they were gang members and alcoholics, but they weren't bad people. They wouldn't torment me and torture me. They would look out for me. You know, I was raised in the streets. So I was raised in the streets of New York by blood, you know, by blood gang members, like bloods, you know, like my niggas were bloods. Like, there was like girls that I used to hang out with. I didn't really know them, but it was just like we were bloods. I used to roll with the blood flag and stuff like that, but we used to take care of each other. So the loyalty thing is different in New York than it is in Canada. And I don't want to diss nobody. I love Toronto, but it's just from my experience. So when I had moved here, I had a lot of fake friends and stuff like that, until I decided that I don't want to be evil no more, because evil is what manifested those fake friends. So going back to my story, it started when I was possessed. So you see how I attracted all these experiences just from being born and having a spirit inside of me. So I never chose the evil, and I know I got it smiling. Guys, I keep on going if you don't want to fail. I don't want water. Fine. So I had to go through those life changes to realize like who I'm loyal to. And once I cut off all my sources, my friends, which God actually did on purpose, because he wanted to take the evil out of my life. So he took out the fake friends, he took out the fake persona, because in my head I was still a blood. The spirits that I don't show. In my head I was still a blood. I was running the fucking streets when I came to Toronto. Like 3 years I was in depression, and I had to deal with the fucking spirits. And then after that, it was like 2012. Yeah, it was like from 2012. Yeah, 2012 to like 2000, like for like 3 years. Like, yeah, for like 2 years. 2012, 2011. No, 2011. From like 2011 to like 2014. 2013, I was like, no, 2014, I was like running the streets. Like, I remember running the streets of Toronto where niggas would respect me because I was this thug from New York. But they were evil, you know, like they would take advantage of me, they would steal from me, they would rape me, and all these things, which I didn't remember because I was constantly drunk, trying to forget my reality, because I never wanted to be in Canada, you know what I'm saying? And talking about these things don't cause my soul pain anymore, obviously, although I should drink some water. It doesn't cause my soul pain anymore, although I had to like heal myself. So that's just like a summary of my story, and I had to learn from my mistakes and learn that the voice that guided me to search the love of light is the one that I call God, you know, the one that I I had experienced it since I was a little girl. When I was going through those traumatic experiences, when I had the car accident, when I had a tumor, when I had all these things happening to me, when I fell on the knife and all these spirits were pushing me and they used to fuck with me, I had to remember all these experiences in order to realize my truth. And my truth is, I serve the God that taught me love and light. I will never ever serve a servitor ass nigga that they call Allah. I will never serve a servitor ass nigga that they call Jesus. I even threw away my Buddha statue, like, you know. And this is my truth. I'm not here to offend anybody, but at the same time, I am real, and I don't really care what people have to say. Like, your truth is your truth, but this is the truth, because I'm an M and they used to call me Jesus in a past lifetime. That's why they're scared. That's why they didn't want me to make this video, and they probably laughing because I made this video too late, but they're not really laughing because they're crying on the inside, because they know that I'm gonna put this on YouTube, and they know that I gotta tell the people the truth. And it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna try to do this at 6 o'clock, but you know, they were literally trying to make sure that I don't deliver this message. Like, the people need to know that this is my story. So I've been here for an hour telling my fucking story. But yeah, that was my decision to consciously change my soul. I chose not to choose evil, because I was so receptive to God. And I'm gonna get into the magic part. So that was the spirits, you know, the encounters that I had with the spirits and all of that shit. And I'm gonna get into a dive deeper into what they call the law of attraction. So from the time I was possessed, when I was a baby, like literally like a few days after I was born, to when I was 30, not even like a few weeks before my 30th birthday, like I had this imp inside of me. So that reality that I lived, that timeline that I lived, had shaped my experience to believe that I was evil, that God was evil, that Allah is my God, and all these dumb shit, until I started practicing spirituality, until I started diving deeper into my magical studies, until I started learning about the law of attraction. I was like, holy shit, that's why my life was like that, because the energy that was creating through me, I was never in control. So now I am here to teach you how to be in control, and I'm going to teach you the truth about magic, and you know, or what they call energy. I went from a sinner to saint, and I'm going to show you how. I don't want to dive deeper into any of my story, because it's honestly making my fucking woodchucker hurt, bro. My throat is starting to open up. But I'm going to teach y'all that magic is real. So vibrational alignment course, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I went through all of this. Damn, homie. In high school, I was the man, homie. Yeah. Alright. So I know that God gave me a purpose. The reason that I went through all of these traumatic experiences in this lifetime is because God told me that I have to save the people. And I'm like, when he told me that, like, I was literally standing in my room at my mom's house. I don't live with my mom no more, thank God. No offense, Mom, if you're watching this, you know I love you. But I remember, like, I heard that same voice, like the same voice when I was a little girl, like that same guiding voice, that masculine voice that was so strict but so gentle but so powerful, that kept on protecting me, you know, and was telling me, like, you have to save the people, like, save the people. And I asked, I'm like, how can I save the people? I'm only one person. And he started naming many names, like even servitors, because at the time I believed in them, you know, like I believed in Jesus and shit. So he's like, oh, Jesus did it, not knowing that Jesus is me, you know, or who they call Jesus is me. I'm not that nigga. But the story that they fabricated, that's my story. I'm the healer, I'm the prophet, I'm the one that took the L for everybody, which is why my back pain. I was carrying the word, the you know, the pain of everybody, because I chose to sacrifice and suffer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna do that anymore. I clear that. So so throughout that timeline, you know, he made me believe, you know, from there on, God made me believe. God was like, not Jesus. Jesus ain't gonna save you, but you gonna have to save the people. Yes, that's who you are. This is who you are. You are Love and them, here to save the world. But he didn't say Love and them because that wasn't my name at the time. But he would call me by my first name. And he would just tell me like, yo, you gotta save the people. So he gave me all this knowledge in my brain, and I was like, yo, I gotta write this shit down. So every day for the past 5 years I was writing it. I put it in blogs. I even put this shit out for free, you know. Like, I remember, I don't know if y'all remember, some of y'all, if y'all stick to me, stood with me a few years ago, but I had my blog and my website, and I was literally teaching on my website, and nobody really paid attention to me. And this was before I had a YouTube channel, before I had almost 200 subscribers, before I had 1,000 fucking followers on Instagram, almost 2,000 followers on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Before all of that, before I had a big fan base, I was just like, I have this knowledge and I gotta put it out, because God, the one that saved my soul. Now, I love the nigga, the servitor, because fuck that nigga. I don't care about that nigga, and I don't care if Muslim people get mad, because I know who I am. I was a Muslim for 28, 29 years. My brain still believed in that nigga up until last year, and I was suffering, bro. I was suffering so much because of my belief. So that's what the Most High's God taught me. He gave me all this knowledge, like, yo, you know how to create through the system that is your brain. If you let it create your reality by a controlling mechanism that they call the belief system, this is how it's going to be. Do you want to live that same reality, or do you want to save your soul? I decided to save my soul, B. I wanted a different path. I wanted to choose the light, because I was so tired of seeing darkness and evil manifest in my life continuously, starting with evil spirits. And it started when I was a baby, and there was the good spirits with the white, and the bad spirits in the black. But I'm not saying that all spirits in white are good and all spirits that appear in black are bad. I'm just saying there's a difference, and I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to confuse the people. Okay, let's not confuse the people. We won't edit that part out, whatever. But God taught me the knowledge, and I remember giving out this knowledge for free, and nobody fucking took me seriously, bro. Like, nobody took me seriously. Nobody really cared about what I had to say until I started my YouTube channel, and that's when everything started changing. So I hope you watch this video to gain knowledge and not to be evil. I hope you don't try to come at me and be like, oh, how you gonna talk about Muslims? Listen, bitch, nigga, whatever you are, like, I'm not trying to diss you, but I'm just saying, don't try to come on my channel and tell me what I've been through. That's just somebody that I've always been. I will not tolerate that shit. I know what the fuck I've been through. I know what the fuck I've seen. I know who the fuck Allah is. And why do I keep thinking this is the Quran? My nigga, delete that belief. But this is the magic of the light. This is a book that teaches the magic of the light. It doesn't teach you how to worship no motherfucker, because God doesn't need worship. God needs prayer, because out of love. God didn't say, oh my God, like, save me. And that's what the fuck Allah was doing to me. That nigga kept me small like this, when my heart would hurt, and I felt so low, bending down on the motherfucking floor, saying all types of shit, sitting on the motherfucking magic carpet, going to the mosque where I didn't feel like myself. But shit, I couldn't even do certain things. I couldn't even wear certain clothes because I was ashamed, until I moved on to Christianity. And I would go to church wearing a little dress where nobody would judge me because of my tattoos. But then my beliefs got fucked up again, because they're praying to God like, Lord Jesus Christ, God, my Savior. And I'm like, who the fuck are you praying to? So then that questioned me to challenge my beliefs again. And I'm like, yo, like, is Jesus real or not? But then God showed me the truth. They're like, yo, you are who they call Jesus. Let's not say that too late or too much. But you gotta save the people, so get right into it. Okay. Really excited. So, the more I wanted to change and better myself, the more help I received from the spirits who guided me every day to help me remember my true self. You know, I always was connected to magic. It is scientifically proven that everything is energy, that everything in the universe is created out of atoms and particles and what a blood clot this. How the hell did a bug get in here? You see? You see? Trying to stop my bag. It's okay, I'm gonna kill that nigga. A little of them. Don't worry. Should I kill it now? Kill it later. No, it's gonna try to stop my bag. But anyway. Yeah, so it's scientifically proven that everything in the universe is basically, it vibrates at frequencies. And the frequency, every frequency has a vibration. Every vibration has a frequency. It's just how it works. I keep seeing dumb shit inside here. I think I manifested it. Putting that in my video. But everything has a vibration and everything has a frequency, and nothing is solid. Only in the physical realm it appears to be so. Everything is made out of particles, and which are, you know, always in motion. It's energy in motion, and that is what they call magic. So sorry guys, I forgot. So everything is energy, and it begins with your thoughts. Your emotions amplify it, and your actions increases its momentum. So your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions is what they call magic. And that is how I was creating my reality, like, constantly, because I didn't know, like, my feeling, I always try to be pure since I was a little girl, but then my head was getting fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, so your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions is what they call doing magic. That's what they call moving energy, or some people would say bending reality, as in the, you know, the new term. It's more of a new term. I think it's Vishen Lakiani who actually showed me that, because I'm like, I know this shit. Like, they're like, oh yeah, it's just another way of saying doing magic, you know. But yeah, that's what they call doing magic. Bending reality. When you bend your reality, you choose. This is how you bend your reality. When you choose what to think, when you choose what to feel, and then you choose what to do. And that's literally what they call doing magic. So a lot of people are thinking, feeling, and doing without their true conscious will, like I was for almost 30 years, because I was somebody else. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing. So because of that, I was manifesting an external reality that wasn't co-creating with the universe. It was like kind of going against it, going against God's will, which is why I almost became a forsaken one. And a forsaken one is somebody who has been shut off by God, or shut off by light. I know in some stories they say that you know, Lucifer's the fallen one, which is why they call Lucifer the devil, but that is not the truth. Archangel Michael is the one that fell, because when they attack the feminine, which I don't want to talk about too much, but when they attack the feminine beings on this planet, you know, to take away the love and light from the world, they actually try to take it away from us by taking away our power, because they want to, you know, we as feminine beings, we create from our emotions more than our logical mind, and masculine beings create more with the logical mind than the emotion. So Archangel Lucifer, the mind, Archangel Michael, the heart, and those two, like if you see my previous videos, they create that balance. So if your head and your heart is going against you, you're actually off balance, and that's what they call like creating chaos or destruction, or it's evil. Like it's evil because it's not in coherence, or it's not in alignment with the light. And that's what God taught me. You know, God that taught me love and light taught me that this is a way of living your truth and living in alignment to manifest higher blessings, to help save the soul, which is what I teach in my course called the Vibrational Alignment Course. I wanted to call it a program, but I don't know why the fuck they told me not to call it a program. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Woo, as soon as I said that. Nigga right. So those memories that I had gave me a sense of clarity as to who I am, because almost all of my life I was being called crazy. You know, although my family believed in evil spirits, they didn't believe in me because they didn't want me to believe the truth, or any of the children for that matter, because the elders actually like to hide the knowledge, and the knowledge is the secret about the law of attraction, how to create your own reality. If you think and feel something, that is what's going to happen. If you think the evil, you will feel the evil. If you feel the evil, you will think the evil. Your mind can create a feeling. Your feeling can create a thought. And that literally is like an energy ball, and it creates a ripple effect through your action, which is what they call doing magic. Let's say if I was angry and I'm thinking negative, like, oh, I'm gonna punch this nigga in the face because he didn't call me tonight, and I'm feeling angry, and then I end up punching the wall. That's gonna create that ripple effect of what? Probably my hand being broken, my soul being suffered. That nigga will probably never call because he'll feel that negative vibration in my energy, you know? And it's not in a vibrational alignment with what they call God, or what is God, you know? Because I know my God. There's only one supreme creator. But if it's not in alignment, it's not a part of your true soul. And that's how they try to corrupt the soul, because they don't want people to be in alignment. They don't want people to serve the light. They want people to be in the shadow self, to be in the dark, to forsake themselves, to watch TV all day, to play video games all day, to go party all day, like I used to, you know, like I used to do a lot of that shit. And now I told myself, I was like, I didn't even pay for my Netflix account. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this shit to myself. Like I'm not a really big fan of watching TV and anything like that. I just like to watch when I eat something. But even that, I realized, like, it was fucking me up, because it would replay some of the things that I used to watch. You would replay in my head, and I was manifesting that. And I'm like, why do I feel this way? Or why am I thinking about this character from the fucking show? Why am I, you know, thinking about them when I should be thinking about myself? Why am I doing this? And then I realized it was from that television programming. But all these things made me to understand that how important it is to keep our soul in alignment with the light, and which is what they call, you know, being in alignment, being in service to yourself, being connected, you know, being connected and in alignment with your higher power, God source, creator, you know, being good, not being evil. Like, you can tell by a person's just eyes, like, you can see the light in my eyes. There's a lot of people, you don't see that light, you don't see that twinkle, because it's just black, my nigga. And it's you know how they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. It's not that it's the windows to the soul. You don't want your eyes to be portals, because windows can be portals, but we're not gonna talk about that. Even doors can be portals, but we're not gonna talk about that. Closets and shit, but we're not gonna talk. I don't want nobody to get scared. But they say that because you can read somebody's energy like a looking glass, you know, or a magnifying glass. And you can read the energy of the soul. So I remember going back into my old picture, not even going back, I remember looking at my old pictures and of my past timelines, like how I just went through the time of me explaining my story. I remember looking at it and looking at those pictures, and I'm looking in my eyes, and I was like, yo, my eyes were black, bro. And it's not that I was a bad person in my heart, it was my head, and it was my soul. Like, my soul was so corrupted, and it's not like I chose it. I never chose it. If I wasn't possessed, if when I was born, if the bitch didn't put the imp inside of me, I would have lived a whole different life. And I used to fight with God all the time. I used to fight God. Like, God, the spirits are like, Panga Korbana. That means don't fight with me. You know, don't fight. You know, I used to fight with God all the time. Like, yo, you made me this way. You put me here to go through all of this. But now I know why. I had to go through that whole dark night of the soul transition for like almost 30 motherfucking years, so that I can be this person and teach you guys the truth. So that I can be this person and teach you guys about the light. I keep looking at my cross. Oh, dear God, you taught me love and light. I know that you're the most supreme creator. I'm so thankful for all of this. Please protect the people who are watching this right now, who need your help, who are the reason you kept me alive this whole time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please help them create their own reality by practicing in love and light, practicing with the light and being in alignment with the light. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Help me stay protected. Help me stay protected, and help the people who want to do good by you stay protected. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. And so it is. They're like, Queen, don't say amen. Fuck that shit. Then, sorry. Holy, I'm getting tired. It's like, what, it's past midnight here. I don't like it. But yeah. So it's literally been a journey with y'all. You know, I'm gonna keep the video a little short. It's not a short video. It's a long ass video. They're like, we told you not to record a long ass video, but you did it anyway. Now you gotta edit it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm gonna edit it. But I always knew that I had this special connection with God, you know, and I knew this because since, you know, of my childhood memories. And it's literally time for y'all to remember and know that in order to, you know, how to stand up in your power. So I really encourage you to get in alignment, get my book. You know, it's a part of the course. So what you get is my book called Magick of the Brain, and you get three audios. Yeah, 3 audios. How to activate your magic, connect to the light, and heal the heart. No, activate your magic, heal the heart, and then ego, from the ego to the higher self. So those 3 audios, I recorded this myself with the help of the spirits who guided me to do it. And I will, you know, for the first 5 people that purchased it, I will send you a bonus. And that product I'm actually selling for $2,000, but I will give it to you for free if you go on my website right now. You watch this video and you go on my website right now, and the offer will expire tomorrow in 24 hours. So whenever I post this video, from then 24 hours, 48 hours, 24 hours, 24, 48, 72, I don't know. Anyways, I don't know when this shit's gonna expire. I'll trust the Lord who taught me love and light, but I will give you guys the secrets to success for free. So it's basically 6 or 7 steps into how to literally free your soul. And there are I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm not gonna say what that is because it's a secret. So it's running for $2,000, and I want to give it to you guys for free. So if you purchase the vibrational alignment program, you're already getting $1,000 scholarship. So you get $1,000 off. And I got 5 available right now. 5 more can do. No, I got 5 available right now, and I need y'all to go and, you know, go purchase it. Actually, I think I'm not even gonna say 5. You know what, this is how I'm gonna do this. The first 5 people will get the secrets to success, to the $2,000 bonus with the vibrational alignment program for free. So you're actually getting $3,000 off. So this is an offer right now. So if you purchase the vibrational alignment program, you will get the secrets to success, and this only goes to the 5 people. So I'm gonna keep a track of my inventory. So 5 people that purchase the vibrational alignment program, the first 5 to purchase the vibrational alignment program, will get the secrets to success book/PDF for free, and that's $2,000. So you're actually saving $3,000 just by excuse me, just by being one of the first people. And if you're really serious about being in alignment, and serious about changing your life, and serious about saving your soul and changing your vibration to vibrate higher, to vibrate at the vibration of angels, or even higher, to vibrate and be in the frequency of God, and to manifest peace and mental clarity in my life, you need this program. Course. I keep saying program. Course. I mean, the spirits are like, we told you to name your program. I don't know why you put course. I'm like, I don't know. I think the A nigga told me to do it. Don't fuck up. But yeah, yo, I really had to get deep down into this and into the secret, you know. So I exposed the secret a little bit, but there's so many secrets that I still want to share with you. And this is not even a little bit. I think this video is like 2 hours long, but I'm gonna have to edit this shit. But I have to expose it to you in order for you to understand, like, yo, this shit is real. Like, I'm not playing. This is a life changer. I changed my life. Like, you heard my story from what I've been through, what I did, what I've done, what I've gone through, all of that. How I came from, from living in New York to living in Canada. How I went from living in Bangladesh to New York. Like, all these different timelines and all these things that happened to me. And I had to just learn how to be good so that I can have peace, so that I can stop manifesting evil, so I can have good luck in my life. I feel like my shirt is gonna drop. So I can manifest good luck in my life. And that's just the way it's gonna have to be, because I don't want it any other way. Like, why the fuck would I want to go backwards? Like, once I started the spiritual path and I started studying the law of attraction, I don't want it any other way. You know what I'm saying? I just want to manifest with the light. I want to do good in the name of God, and in the name of God, and with the light. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna teach you, and I really want to teach you, and I want to teach the people. And I remember I don't even want to say nothing about my story right now. I don't even feel like talking about death anymore, because I escaped death 2018, 2 years ago. I had escaped death again. Like, something was trying to kill me. Like, I had fainted and all of that stuff, and I had fainted and all of that stuff. Where's my hair tie? Yeah. I had fainted and all of that stuff, and I had what other people call a seizure or a heart attack or whatever. But I was suffering from heart problems, and even the paramedics didn't want to believe, what happened to me. They're like, oh, you just had a seizure, from what everybody explained, but you look fine. And I'm like, do you believe in God? So I know how far prayers got me. I know how far I got me just by believing in the truth, and believing from my experiences that there's a difference between Allah and the Creator. There's a difference between good and evil. There's a difference between black and white. There's a difference, and there's a reason why they call the people different colors, because at the end of the day, it's all part of a magical game. Like, the whole system has been running on magic this whole fucking time, and they don't want the people to know the truth. They don't want the people to realize their true potential. They don't want the people to realize their true destiny and their true power. And the power has been within us all along. A lot of people look for power with fame, money, and all types of stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, like, the power is here. You just have to learn how to use it. But first, you gotta learn how to find it. So if you want to learn how to find your power, go to consciousmagic.com right now. Read the first page. Purchase the vibration alignment program course. Spirit told me to name it program. I put course. But anyway, purchase that. You'll get your, $2,000, $3,000 off, because you get the $1,000 scholarship for the course, and then you'll get the first five people will get the Secrets to Success for free. I'm not fucking joking. I really want to help you, and I really want you to know that this is the truth, and this is my truth, and I and I did it. I delivered my message. But I will see you guys next time. I hope you all go to consciousmagic.com right now. And change your life, bro. Like, I really want you to change your life. And I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, because bitch, I need it. Goodbye for now.